Welcome to
Split the Defense,
where Jordan Webster and Ted Evans talk about the NHL and all things hockey.
Split the Defense
Is broadcasted on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, and online at CJAI.CA.
Welcome to Split the Defense Hockey Podcast. Full episodes airing every Tuesday at 4 p.m. on this Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, CJAI, and CJAI.CA. We also make live episodes for YouTube. You can check those out Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m., and we actually stream them on Twitch as well. All of our episodes can be found on our YouTube after recording at Split the Defense. I'm Jordan Webster alongside my co-host Ted Evans, and I'm just here to say that they're going to have to trade Mikko Rantanen.
What? No.
They have to. Because
are you
Nathan
trying to make me mad? What? What are you doing?
Because Nathan MacKinnon makes too much money.
Well, he does. He
paid too much money. They'll never be able to afford Mikko Rantanen. And when his contract comes up, that's all they're going to talk about. It's just they won't be able to do it. He won't sign.
No, I don't like it.
Does that ever happen? Because I never hear that. But for some reason, now all of a sudden, all I can hear all over the place is that they won't be able to sign William Nylander. That he's not going to sign this next contract.
Yeah. I was going to say, you must have heard
what?
this.
No, because that happens everywhere else. Because talk like that happens everywhere else. Totally believable.
Yes. Oh, that Rantanen, though, is not a name I wanted to hear in talks like that. Yeah.
No. It doesn't happen. Because it's not going to happen. Because William Nylander is probably going to sign with the Leafs again. But, because Austin Matthews makes all that money now, and you already got Mitch making almost 11, and John Tavares can't sign William Nylander. No, that'll never happen. It's just nonsense. I'm so sick of hearing that, man.
So many rumors and stuff going around with that. We got to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, it's just ridiculous. That seems to be. It's always just the Leafs fan base that gets that crap every single day. It's always this. Like, does any other hockey franchise have to deal with this?
No, because when you said that freaked me right out.
Because you didn't hear that anywhere. Because that's never been talked about before. Oh, what about Cale Makar makes all that money too? It's not like it's just the two of them. Well, you can't be paying all those guys all that money. What are you going to do with the rest of the money? Like, give it a break.
Yeah, I feel for you, man, being a Leafs fan. But
anyways, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Good, man. How about you?
What did you do today?
What I do? Today? No, I working on my disc golf skills.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah,
that's going to be a very
throwing
fun
the disc.
Game.
Yeah,
throwing the disc. Where were you doing that? Somewhere in and around the local area?
I was just out at my parents' place in Loyalist Township, out there throwing the disc, out in some open field. So that was nice.
Yeah, right on. Well, Ted's going to be out trying disc golf. I think this is for the first time. Or have you done this before?
No, I've never done it before. I'm going to try it this week, and I'm excited because it's low impact on the knees. It's a nice walk through the woods, as they say. Yeah, no, it's a really cool sport. I tried it around, not an actual course, but tried a few throws into the net or the little basket that you put it into, the goal. Tried a few shots like that in Loyalist Township. They had a little barbecue there, and they had a demonstration going on from the Limestone District Golf Club, disc golf club, I should say. And yeah, it was really cool, and I think I'm getting into it, man.
Good. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Good,
how about
wholesome
you?
Fun.
What was your day like?
Oh, I worked.
Okay.
And then I went and helped my mom get some stuff because I'm a good son.
Yes,
so
that's a good boy.
She needed some help lifting some things, so I went and picked them up for her.
Nice.
Good stuff. So,
I'd like to hear it.
So latest news around the NHL. Dustin Brown, Brian Burke, Jamie Langenbrunner, Katie King-Crowley, and Brian Murphy have all been elected to the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame.
Oh, cool. Good
so
for them.
So I know you know who a few of those names are. Who do you know Dustin Brown as?
An LA King is what I know Dustin Brown as.
Two-time Stanley Cup champion LA King, Dustin
That's
Brown.
right. Big time.
Yes. Isn't he the captain? And didn't he have a statue built?
Does he have a statue?
I'm
Oh
pretty
my
sure they
God.
built a Dustin Brown statue
That's
in
amazing.
LA. Like, I'm almost
I believe
100%
it.
positive.
I mean, he's a legend there. Yeah.
Yeah, he won 2 cups. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Brian Burke, we all know Brian Burke.
Yeah,
He
Berkey.
captained the first California team to a Stanley Cup with the Anaheim Ducks. And then he was in Toronto as their
Yes.
general manager.
Famously.
Went over to run Pittsburgh, got let go from that job. He was the president of hockey operations in Pittsburgh, and he got let go from there. And he's been on and off Sportsnet, so we all know who Brian Burke is. And what about Jamie Langenbrunner? Who do you know Jamie Langenbrunner as?
New Jersey Devil, won the cup a few times.
Yeah, absolute. New Jersey Devil legend, part of that, one of those big teams back in the, I guess it'd be late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
When I was just a wee tot.
Yes.
Yes. And then here is somebody I didn't know. A couple people, actually. Katie King Crowley. Do you know who that is?
No, not off the top of my head.
I hadn't a clue. So she was raised in Salem, New Hampshire. She won a gold medal at the 1998 Winter Olympics, silver medal at the 2002 Winter Olympics, and a bronze medal at the 2006 Winter Olympics.
Right. Okay.
Pretty cool.
Very
for
good.
you, Katie. Katie is
Yeah.
king. And then Brian Murphy. So I looked this up, and keep in mind, it's the American Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking up who's Brian Murphy. And I come across Brian Murphy, the hockey player. He's played 1 NHL game. And I'm like, this can't be right. And I look at it, he's a Canadian. I'm like, okay, so that can't be him. So I find out it's a referee. He's an NHL official. From 1988 to
different guy.
2020. Brian Murphy. He was born in Dover, New Hampshire. He reffed 88 regular season games in his career, but he was a linesman for 1,983 games in his career.
Whoa.
He worked 304 playoff games and 9 Stanley Cup finals.
Okay, yeah. So a
Sounds like
trusted
a legend.
name.
Yeah.
You know, to be working cup finals, only certain refs get in on that. And linesmen. And I believe so, yeah. So
Well,
to
I
be
mean,
one of
I
those
want to
guys.
believe you, except for like Wes McCauley. we shouldn't know your name. Like I don't know Brian Murphy.
The
He
only
probably
reason-
had a great career.
The only reason we know Wes McCauley is 5 minutes for fighting and all his quotes over the mic.
And,
That's it.
and the call on all the calls that he's made. I don't know if it was him or his partner. Now I feel terrible, but the whole Justin
that's
Hall
why he
pick thing,
got
I'm
to that level.
I'm a little still bullish on that, but when he called the pick on Justin Hall and John Tavares scored a goal in Game 7 against Tampa Bay, and then they called it back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Wes McCauley. Like almost sure. Might have been his partner, but I'm pretty sure it was Wes McCauley. Also,
made
like
some
Wes
awful
McCauley's
calls.
just known to have a little bit of background with that. Did you know that him and Sheldon Keefe have a history?
Ooh. In
Did
what
you know
in what
that?
way? A good history? Bad history?
He is brother-in-law with David Frost. Do you know who David Frost
yeah.
is? Yeah,
That's not a good
And
name in the
Sheldon
NHL world.
Keefe was one of David Frost's boys. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those of you that didn't know, now you know. But anyways, yeah, you want to be a good NHL referee in my mind, let's not know your name. So congratulations to all those people that were inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. In other NHL news, during the Pearl Jam concert at United Center the other night, Pearl Jam helped announce that the Blackhawks will retire Chris Chelios' number, the number 7, on February 25th, 2024.
Wow. I wonder how many jersey retirement number announcements have happened at concerts. Like, that's got to be a first, right? Like, at a concert?
I don't know. That's a good point. That's a good
They're
point.
like-
All I can think about right away is Chelios, am I wrong? Did he not play for Detroit?
He did.
And aren't Detroit and Chicago like massive rivals?
Well, yeah, like
And
both
he played
original
for a long
six.
time in
and,
Detroit, didn't he?
for a bit, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think I would say, yeah, like longer tenured in Chicago. I don't know. I'd have to look up the numbers, but yeah, he played like a few places, but he was always a big name. It's always like Chelios, right? Like he was a big guy back in the day, and I think of him all the time. Every time we say Chell, every time we're like, want to play Chell? I'm like, Chelios.
Chelios.
Yeah, like every time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of a jersey retirement being announced at a concert before, but apparently it says that Eddie Vedder it said this on the internet, so it must be true, but it said Eddie Vedder announced to his friend Chris Chelios or something like that.
So they're
Announced
like
his
buddies.
friends Chris Chelios. Yeah, so apparently they might be buddies,
Cool.
But that is what that is.
Yeah.
So I was just looking this guy up, and I tried, but I didn't get all my prep done. Almost all of it. But the Avs have signed forward Saku Maenalainen to a professional tryout.
Sure.
He played 64 games with the Winnipeg Jets last season. That's what I have.
All right.
I think what I remember, I didn't get that down, but he was 125th pick overall by the Nashville Predators.
Okay.
And he didn't have an immediate hockey DB page, which does not give me much hope.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
So he might be from overseas playing a lot. Obviously from overseas, I'm just saying.
Well,
he's got the two little dots over the A in his name. He's definitely from overseas.
Fair assessment. So, yeah, 64 games, though, with the Jets.
So he plays in the NHL.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So,
I can look up a scouting report if I can spell his name. I wonder if is he any good?
Yeah, I wonder. Always interested when the Avs are not only signing guys, but signing guys to a professional tryout, because that's always an interesting situation, not obviously with only my team, but with all teams. The professional tryout thing is like, do some players take that as a bit of an insult at some point in their career? Or they're still just happy to get a chance? Like, what do you think about it?
Dude, I mean, it depends on how much ego you have, especially if you haven't made it yet. Like if you're been there and then you get to that point, you've tasted it.
Yeah.
It's different than trying to get a taste. Like you could be trying to get a taste at 30 still,
True.
So, what I've got on Saku Maenalainen, Maenalainen, that's what we're going to go with. He says, a very raw prospect. Maenalainen is a long way off. He still needs to add weight to fill out his 6'3" frame. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
If he does, his combination of skill and size could be dangerous. So he's skilled, which isn't a problem. That's cool. And he's 6'3". I wonder if he's like a 6'3" Denny Malgin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not great, but has a scoring touch.
Yep. Just needs to be in the right spots and not get crushed with his small size there. I wonder, if he fills out and he keeps that skill, builds on it. How old is he?
Oh, that's a fantastic. He was born in 94, so he'd be 29.
Okay. We can work with that. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, from Finland, drafted in 2013, 125th overall, 6'3", 185. He's a right winger that shoots left. So he's the scorer.
Yeah.
A right winger that shoots, that tells you right away, right?
Yeah, he's up there getting set for the shot.
Definitely. Passing is not easier, so he's a shooter.
Yeah, seems like it.
All right. So,
what else we got?
Next, after suiting up for every game in the Florida Panthers playoff run, former Senator and first rounder Colin White has signed a professional tryout offer with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ah.
Colin White was supposed to be something. Do you remember that name?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I remember seeing him in Fantasy League going through, and that name would come up and around, and it's like, is he worth picking up? And yeah, looks like, again, this professional tryout thing. This is a guy that was drafted a little bit higher than like the last player we were talking about, for example.
Yeah, 21st overall, right?
Yeah, and was supposed to be something, like you said.
I always thought he was held back in Ottawa because that's just Ottawa, and they don't want to be good or play their kids or develop properly because they wanted to tank and be worse until they got like a top 2 pick. But he really didn't do much at the NHL level. He's got 44 goals, 69 assists, nice, in 292 games. And he was with Ottawa pretty much his whole career until he joined Florida last year and went on that long run and played every game last year. So in the playoffs anyways. So, yeah. I mean, that's huge, right? So that's a guy, I don't know. I wonder if maybe he's looking for money now. What do you think you pay a guy like Colin White at this point? You think is he a league min player? Is he like a $1.5 million kind of guy that is he maybe looking for 2.5? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Right? Like he's probably going to get about $1 million, I would say. Like I think he's looking probably for over league minimum. He's going to go to the team that offers him probably the most, I'm guessing. Or maybe he's at the point where he's looking for a specific city or something, and Pittsburgh makes sense for him.
No, he's a genius. You just figured that out. He's going to go to Pittsburgh because if you want to get overpaid, you go to Kyle Dubas, right?
There it is.
Isn't that the narrative? There you go. It fits like right down that alley.
We figured it out.
You figured it out for me. Yeah, I just put 2 and 2 together. You gave me the second 2. That makes so much sense. So yeah, go to Pittsburgh. Kyle will pay ya.
Yeah,
you're not going to get more money from any other GM in this league. Genius, Colin White. Genius. So this is big news, huge news. The Canucks named their 15th captain in history. Do you know who that was?
I wouldn't have off the top of my head.
Yeah, who is it?
Quinn Hughes, buddy.
Yeah, Quinn Hughes. That's pretty cool. Good for Quinn Hughes. It's the first American captain that the Canucks have ever had, apparently, which is sweet, I guess you could say. They always ran with their other ones were Swedish, so for a really long time. But and then
they had
whoever
Marcus
was before
Naslund,
that,
and exactly, but never an American.
No, never an American. So the first American captain, the oldest of the 3 Hughes brothers. I think there might even be a 4th Hughes brother. I'm not sure.
Like even younger?
I think so. There's Quinn, and then there's Jack, and then there's Luke, and I think there might be one more. Or that might be all 3 of them. Maybe I'm lying. But all 3 of those kids play in the NHL. Can you imagine that family? You're just so proud of yourself. You have to be so proud of yourself. Like my kids just kill it.
Like could you imagine? And the Sutters, and they went multiple generations. Like then there was Brandon Sutter and crazy.
True. True.
Yeah.
It's one thing to make it yourself, but it's awesome to see the success for your kids, right?
So true.
Yeah, and you got 3 of them doing that stuff, like the top of their profession, the best they can get.
They all went to the show.
So Quinn Hughes was drafted by Vancouver. I can't even remember. I think it was
top
7th.
5? Oh, 7. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say 9th. Now it was Nazem Kadri. Okay. But he was drafted 9th by Vancouver, and he
7th.
has been on my fantasy team. 7th, sorry, by Vancouver. He's been on my fantasy team every single year since I've played fantasy. He's a stud. Yeah. Absolute stud. Always
grab Quinn Hughes, eh?
I always do,
funny.
because he always falls a little later, so it just seems to work out. Not later, but 4th round. He's still around because people are
still there.
Cale Makars and the bigger names, Roman Yossi's and forwards and whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. 'Tis the season. Draft time's coming up.
Yep.
We'll be having fantasy drafts all over the place taking place.
That's true. This is going to be an interesting year for that. Oh, every year is, but man, I feel like there's been so much change this year, and players going to different teams in different cities, and then players really coming out of their shell right at the end of last season, and you're like, what are they going to do this season? Is he worth a fantasy pickup? Certain guys like that. I could probably list a bunch of names, but one I think I would take that I don't think a lot of guys would be Matthew Nyes right away. Not my first picks, but I'd try and get him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's going to do something fun.
The league that I played in last year that I'm going to play in again this year, they are all Leafs fans, man. All of them. So, you just know those guys are going to get scooped up. You just know it.
Definitely on the radar.
I drafted last year. I had the first overall pick, and I drafted Austin Matthews instead of Connor McDavid.
Total Leafs fan move.
But in my defense, the year before, I also won the lottery and got the first pick. I got a horseshoe up my butt or something. And
apparently.
I picked Connor McDavid, and I still lost to you. So at the end of the day, I was like, I just want to be happy. I don't want to be losing to when Austin Matthews is scoring 60.
Yeah, right? That would have been, yeah, exactly. So it was the what ifs.
That's what I picked.
You just want to be happy.
And then I loaded up. I think I picked Nylander and Tavares, or Nylander and Riley right after that. And then somebody.
We had a lot of Leafs for sure.
Yeah, lots of Leafs. Do that again. I think I picked up I drafted Michael Bunting in the year that we did that fantasy together. I straight drafted him.
I remember that.
It wasn't even a free agent pickup, and we didn't know anything about him. And I was like, yeah, but this guy, I just know it. I just had this feeling. I think I'd already watched him in preseason too, which would have helped.
But then he was getting top line minutes and everything, and you were like, see?
Yeah, exactly. He was a Studley pickup.
But yeah.
So, Andrew Ladd, you know that name. He's announced his retirement from professional hockey at the age of 37.
Wow, what a career.
It's a good normal time to retire. Yeah.
In the NHL, that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean in the NHL.
For our life,
sorry, absolutely. Yeah, no, it is normal actually for them. I just wish, God, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
Just be millionaires. These guys make so much money.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so
just
much.
Be so nice to. Yeah, kick it now. Whatever. I made millions, like 30 million in the bank. Just chill for the rest of my life now, I guess.
Yeah, really.
Do whatever I want.
Fly where I want to try out a new golf course. Fly somewhere. Try. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, Ladd played parts of 17 NHL seasons with the Carolina Hurricanes, Chicago Blackhawks, Atlanta Thrashers, Winnipeg Jets, New York Islanders, Arizona Coyotes. That's a good Puck Doku pick.
Big time.
He recorded 256 goals and 294 assists in 1,001 games. So good for Ladd. He got to play 1,000 games.
That's wicked. Yeah.
He also won the Stanley Cup in 06 and 10.
Yes. So
and he played for Team Canada on 4 occasions, winning gold at the 2005 World Juniors.
That's so awesome. Yeah. What a great career.
I remember Ladd was a stud.
Yeah.
Stud in the mid 2000s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd always put him on my team playing GM or whatever it was back in the day, Dynasty mode on NHL. I'd always grab Andrew Ladd. Always.
Yeah, stud. All right. Montreal Canadiens announced Mike Matheson as alternate captain.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. He just got traded for, do you remember they traded Jeff Petrie and they traded to Pittsburgh for Mike Matheson. Then they traded back and got Jeff Petrie and they traded Jeff Petrie away again. Mike Matheson was the original pickup in that deal. And I will admit I was skeptical. I didn't think that Mike Matheson was anything. I was like, Petrie's really good. Like I've seen him play a lot. Who's Mike Matheson? But he's proved to be good, and obviously so good and in the room that they've made him an alternate captain.
Yeah, that means something.
So I saw a article, or not even an article. Maybe it was an article. It was more of a tweet. Could have been attached to an article about how Arbor Jackeye.
Yes, Wi-Fi.
Doesn't have to fight this year. He's already proved that he's a tough guy. And he has nothing to prove. And that made me think, okay, out of all of the heavyweights in the Atlantic now, because it seems like everybody's got one.
Okay.
Who do you think is the heaviest of the heavyweights? Who do you think's which hired gun is going to be used the most?
We're talking like Ryan Reeves, what was the one you just said? I want to see this list. Like, who are we talking exactly?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and pick up who's the tough guy on each team. Yeah. Okay, so I don't really see anybody on the Red Wings. But
no big tough guys?
Arbor Jackeye was the guy on Montreal.
Right, that's right. Okay,
Ryan Reeves was for Toronto. Ottawa Senators. Who do they have? Now, I know they have Austin. They used to have Austin Watson. Zach McEwen? Is that who you would expect?
Is he a fighter? Is he a big,
Pretty
big
sure
guy?
He's a big boy.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't see anybody else on there. I'm pretty sure the Leafs have to have the heaviest of the
I'm going to say,
my point. So if we go through all of them, I mean, Jackeye is a heavy. Who else does Tampa have? I don't know. Maybe did Tampa grab some heavies? we also don't really know. Maybe some of these guys that we don't know them because that's what they do, right?
True. Yeah.
So
Don't really
I
know
don't
the
know,
name.
but I think which hired gun is going to be used the most. I don't know if it's going to be Toronto that gets in the most fights this year. All I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I think they're going to get into a lot more fights this year, like especially if we're just comparing to last year. Like the chippiness and the stuff going on the ice this year with the Leafs, and I think it's going to be fun. Tyler Bertuzzi's going to be getting under people's skin, I think. Then they're going to send Reeves out to pound the guy, and
Even Austin Matthews was going at Steven Stamkos last year when Steven Stamkos got his face in the playoffs there, right?
That's
Like,
right.
everybody's ready to throw down now.
Yes.
Willie didn't exactly fight, but I'm pretty sure he cross-checked somebody in the head with a stick. And we're all like, Willie, don't do that. But, like, I mean, it's nice to see some effort.
But hey,
and engagement.
Thanks
Like,
for
if it was anybody else, we'd give them trouble. But Willie, like, good work.
Yeah.
We don't normally see that from you. Right? All right.
So true.
So with that, why don't we jump into break?
Yep.
And we will be back here on Twitch and YouTube and 101.3 Amherst Island Radio, CJAI and CJAI.CA in just a couple of minutes. We'll see you soon.
All right. I'm back from break. I'm Ted Evans, Jordan Webster on the other side. He will be back as well very shortly. We were just on a little break. We're recording our Monday episode of Split the Defense. This is airing live on YouTube and Twitch, and it'll air tomorrow on Tuesday on Amherst Island Radio. We'll get back to it whenever you're ready there, buddy.
All right. And we're back. You're listening to Split the Defense Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Webster, alongside my co-host, Ted Evans. Talking about NHL, some women's hockey, some USA Hockey Hall of Fame, and retirements. And we're getting into the real meat and potatoes of the show.
Yeah.
So let's start with some locals. On Sunday, the Kingston Frontenacs won 2-0 over the Erie Otters at home. That would have been fun to go to. I thought about going to it. I had prior engagements, so I had to honor those instead, unfortunately. But I would like to catch every Sunday game I can coming here up. If anybody else does, it'd be really cool to link up at the game.
Yeah.
Just say hi, buy me a beer. Anyways, the next time the Frontenacs hit the ice at the Leon Center, it will be in their 2023-24 home opener on Friday, September 29th. So make sure to get your butts down there and pack that place because we want to support our junior kids. We want to support this club. If they get the support, maybe these kids could become things that they never thought they could be. Because remember, these guys aren't developed. These guys have no idea what they can be yet. They're all good. Now, a bunch of them aren't going to make it, but maybe more can with a little more confidence. So let's go down there and support the boys.
I love it.
And I will catch you guys down there every single Sunday they play a game. I'm going to attend this year.
That's wicked.
So it's going to be fun. I'm buying the cheapest seats, but I'm going.
For sure.
So Hockey Canada announced a 46 women roster for its September camp. Here are the players that are expected to be in the PWHL this season.
Okay, that were named. Okay.
Some Hockey Canada's. We got Emily Clark. Told you I knew that name. Brianne Jenner. Both play for Ottawa. Sarah Nurse, Canadian, plays for Toronto. Marie-Philippe Poulin, play for Montreal. Natalie Spooner. Jamie Lee Rattray. We know those names. Those guys will be, I assume, in the draft.
Yeah.
For the rest of the PWHL.
For sure.
Other names that we have, Kristen Campbell as a goalie. She's phenomenal. Anne Renee Desbiens.
Yep.
She's also a staple for Canadian women's hockey.
Yeah.
She will also be on that 46 women roster. So, a lot of big names there. Canada's always good, man. Canada's women are always good. I remember like being a kid and just being so proud because Canada's men were good, like often, but Canada's women were always good.
Always.
Like they just killed it all the time. They were just. I mean, they were all. They had as much success as the men. It feels, if not more. Like I'd have to look that up. If not
probably
more. Probably. They're an amazing group of women. Many groups of women over the years now.
For sure, yeah. Crazy amounts.
But it sounds like that coach of the Canadian women's national team will actually be the head coach of the PWHL Toronto. So that's cool.
Wicked.
His name is Troy Ryan. I had no idea who this guy was, so I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff that I'm just going to skim through.
Okay.
At the university level, he started his coaching, and that was in 2001. So that was a long time ago. 20
plus years.
Here. Yeah. I was 8. So he's been coaching hockey for as long as I've been following hockey. And
there you go.
He coached in the Maritime Junior A Hockey League in 2003, becoming general manager and head coach of the Antigonish Bulldogs. Antigonish.
Yeah.
There you go. Bulldogs. Afterward, he served those dual roles from 04 to 09 with another team in the league, and that team won the cup. So that's cool. From 13 to 16, he went to the Maritime Hockey Leagues, the MHL Campbellton Tigers, and he served multiple roles there, including head coach, general manager, and president. And he joined the women's hockey, the under-18 ice hockey team. He enjoyed his first experience as a head coach in 2016. He served as a bench boss for the 3-game series in Calgary between the Canadian and the American under-18 programs. Ryan would serve the same role, leading the Canadian contingent to a silver medal at the 2017 IHF World Women's U18 Championship in the Czech Republic. And he took over in 2019. He took on 2 different roles with Hockey Canada. In 2019, he was the head coach for the Canadian National Women's Development Team, facing off against the United States during a 3-game series. And also, he was a part of the coaching staff that gained a bronze medal at the 2019 IIHF Women's World Championship in Espoo, Finland. In 2021, 2 years ago, it was announced that he would serve as the head coach for the Canadian women's team, the top one, for the 2022 Winter Olympics.
Wow, yeah.
So now he looks like he's going to go back and be part of that team again.
And then also coaching in the PWHL.
Now, I don't know what the next tournament is. The Olympics aren't soon, are they? No, they just happened, didn't they? Or did time fly already?
Man.
I'd have to check.
I honestly couldn't tell you when the next Olympics are.
Because it's probably got to be a World Cup or something that these girls are there for. It can't be for the Olympics. But that'd be cool.
It's usually an odd number. It should be 24. Or an even number. Should be 24, I think. Is it every 2 years? It's every 4 years, but I mean, then it alters. I don't know. I would think 24.
Let me look that up. Here, we got time.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Winter Olympics?
When's the next Winter Olympics? 2026. So there's no way that they're preparing for that. It's probably going to be a World Cup. Must be.
I'm seeing... Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you're right. Winter Olympics. Yeah. Wait, Winter Olympics. No, I don't know. I'm seeing Paris, France. Or is that summer?
It must be.
2024. 2024 Paris. Okay. Yeah.
I think you've missed the mark.
Yeah. I think that's Summer Olympics. Oh, well. I was off. That's fair, though. But yeah, Winter Olympics, and you said they've put together this roster for September, so they're obviously, it's like a training camp or something. So what are they getting ready for?
46
Just the
woman roster
Worlds?
for Hockey Canada. That's what I'm wondering what they're training for next, because that group of girls can be picked from to do those Hockey Canada events, right? Whatever the Hockey Canada attends, a World Cup or Olympics. It's all Hockey Canada run. So that group of girls would be involved in that. So I have a question for you, Ted.
Okay.
I want to hear first on the Colorado Avalanche this year, who is going to be the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise.
In your opinion.
Ooh.
Somebody we don't expect much from that you think is really going to be something this year. You can take a second, look the lines up if you want to.
No, I think I know who I'm going to go with. Jonathan Drouin. I think we're paying him like league minimum, and I think he's going to do something special because he's going to link up with Nate, and I don't know. I think a lot of people aren't expecting much from him, but I think we're going to see something awesome happen, and then we're going to, I don't know, it's going to change up the lines a little.
Okay.
That's my answer. I think Jonathan Drouin.
Okay.
It's going to be a surprise.
My biggest surprise for this year.
For the Leafs?
I think it's tough because I'm so into it. I'm like, that's not a shocker, but maybe it would be for somebody else.
Right.
I think my biggest surprise this year might actually be Matthew Nyes. I think everybody expects him to score 15 goals, but I think he might score 25.
I think he's breaking 20 for sure.
Yeah, he might score 25. And
that's probably only because of how much you and I have been talking about him. But I think you're right. Like maybe just the common listener, common viewer might just be like,
who else
Matthew
could
Nyes.
be a huge surprise?
Who's
Nick
that?
Robertson.
Oh,
if that guy can stay healthy, man, that shot, that shot is just unbelievable, isn't it? Like
it is.
They just got to put that guy in the right wing. I know the right wing is stacked, but let's go Matt Nyes on the left and Nick Robertson on the right. You got somebody to go down in the corners and pass it out to him on the right-hand side, and he slaps that thing in. He's got a wicked shot.
He does.
Such a good shot that when you go to shoot with him when you're playing the NHL game, that's all it uses. Like every time, it just slaps it in the net. You just push forward, but you're not even winding up for a slap shot. Nick Robertson, bam, wires it into the net. All right.
It's so true.
Yeah. And it's totally relatable because a lot of his shot, a lot of his highlight packs are that wicked slap that he's got.
Yeah.
He puts his whole life into it and it comes off. That's absolutely sure.
And it can be a surprise, too, if teams aren't ready for that and they're expecting, they're going to pass to, whoever else, for the shot. And then it goes over to Robertson. He just rips it and they're not ready for it. That can be a surprise in its own way, like a lot of times over and over throughout the year. I hope they utilize that.
He was quite the surprise when he played well last year, the couple of times he did, but then he didn't. And then he got hurt, which he's been hurt like every single year he's been with the club. It feels like he's always hurt, which really sucks. Tough. It's tough for the player, but it's tough as a fan. Like when you're, you always have to understand that these guys are human, but like they're also like pieces to your team.
That's right.
It's not because we think he's not valuable. It's because we see his value. We see how valuable he is that we want him to be able to play. It just sucks. When he gets hurt every single year. But if he can stay healthy, then I think Nick Robertson will be the biggest surprise for the Toronto Maple Leafs this coming season. So my second question will be to you. Who do you think will be the biggest disappointment?
Oh, that's so tough.
Somebody who's hyped up to be great and might be a disappointment. Hey, you want to do one on the Leafs, and I'll do one on the Avs?
Oh, switch around.
Is that easier?
I'm thinking because this could go a few different ways, right? It could be like an injury thing, maybe is why, and it might not be that they have a bad year. It might just be, and that's kind of where I was going to go for an Av. But yeah, I'll take the Leafs. Who's the biggest disappointment on the Leafs this year?
I think it's easy target.
Well, that's the thing is I don't want to say Austin Matthews and say he's going to have an upsetting year when he should just be killing it because That's not fair. I think he's going to do well. And guys like Marner
What are
are
you
going to be
saying,
great.
Austin Matthews?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to say because he's. It's easy to pick when you're talking biggest disappointment. It's easiest to pick the best player because if they don't be the best, you're like, well, that's a disappointment. So I want to pick. I want to pick a more a crazier answer. I don't know. Who? I don't know. Maybe Riley. We'll see him fuck up, or we'll see him mess up on defense, and that'll change things. I don't know. Well, maybe he'll be a bit of a disappointment. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Who's going to be disappointing on the Avs?
Okay. We'll each do our own team after because this one's way more fun.
Yeah.
On the Avs, I think the biggest disappointment this year that you've been super hyped up for that I think is going to be a major disappointment is Ryan Johansson.
Oh, that's a good answer. I hope he's not. I have been hyped for him because we need a
so
solid.
overrated, man.
No, I hope not.
I think so. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see because there is a good top six, but like maybe is there enough skill to pass around to give Ryan Johansson the insulation he needs to be a great player?
Right. Yeah.
He's
I
good at
hope so.
face-offs. I know that.
Yeah. If he can get the play started for us, that's all we need.
Yeah, but I wonder if they're going to use him on like the penalty kill and he'll end up in the D zone, but he's terrible there, so they can't do that. So where do they use his face-offs? So he can't start in the offensive zone because that's Nate's spot.
Yeah.
So where do you use him, right? He's going to start in the defensive zone. They're going to teach him PK, and then it's going to be terrible. And scored on a lot, no goals.
No, Avs are going to do that thing. We run a lot of times 3 defensemen on a power play, where we'll have a defenseman up on the wing.
Which was like, is that Makar, Gerard,
like
and
Byron.
Bo?
Yeah, or they'd have Makar and Taves and
and
Byron.
Taves,
Yeah.
And Taves, yeah. Holy crap. Yeah, it was defense. That's not even right.
I know.
I can't believe that for 2 seconds they got Devin Taves.
Yeah, like literally for nothing. Like it feels like that was a good
totally
trade.
not. Well, now that you see, he was worth like a first, a second, and then something probably a first, a second, and a prospect. 2 seconds. All right.
Yeah.
See you later. Lou Lamoriello says bye-bye. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a fool. Okay.
Well, yeah, no, we've been doing well with that lineup. So, yeah, biggest disappointment on our own teams. We got to do our own teams
biggest
first.
Disappointment on our own teams. Okay, you go first.
Okay. That was a good answer. I like that Ryan Johansson one. But my original thought on this was our backup, Frankie. He's got to hold down some games for us, and I love Frankie, but he is made of glass. And I think he's going to get hurt, and whenever Georgie needs a break, we're going to have, what's his name? Annanen, I think.
Justice Noonan or whatever. Yeah. Do not pick him up for fantasy. I repeat, do not. If anybody's listening to this and playing fantasy and thinking, hey, it's the Avs, it's an easy win, it's not.
No.
It's not. And if he starts winning consistently, you can come on here and you can tell me I'm wrong and I'm an idiot. But until then, do not pick him up in fantasy. I promise. That is not something you want to do.
Yeah. What was he had one of the worst fantasy nights ever, right? Like last season. Like what was the thing? He came into a game. I
had him, remember?
Yeah, didn't you put him in?
Yeah, I put him in thinking, and it was like terrible. He let in, like, I don't even remember. It was like
a stupid amount of goals.
It was something like if you played somebody on NHL and you scored that quick, you'd be like, I get it. They quit's why they quit. I understand why they quit. Like, I'm not even mad. Like, I scored 3 goals in a row on them, or like it happens to you, and you're like, hey, I'm out of here because like, what is this? 3 shots, 3 goals, or something like that. Done.
Yeah.
4 shots, 3 goals. Like, fantastic. Thank you for ruining my night.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, don't pick him up. And yeah, so I think Frankie going down is going to be one of our biggest disappointments. The glass Frankie back there.
Yeah,
it's too bad.
So mine is low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
I think everybody expects, and I keep writing about it, but I think everybody expects big things from John Klingberg.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think he's going to be a massive disappointment. I think he's going to be the new whipping boy on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's gonna be like, "Come on, Klingberg." Yeah,
Yeah, he's
there's
going to mess it up so many times. It's going to be,
oh,
I think it's going to be a total dog and pony show, an absolute dog's breakfast. Whatever you want to call it, it's not going to be fun.
poor Klingberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's the toughest market to play in for media pressure and fan pressure. You can't mess up too many times in Toronto, man,
No.
or you're
No, you know what? I love this too. Like, I'm going to tell this story on the podcast because heck, why not? I was writing an article, and I started about 10 days ago. And I had points and I had opinions, and I didn't look any of this stuff up. I know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to write myself an article. I'll get the stats after and just fill in the
yeah,
blanks.
fill in the blanks, sure.
So I wrote this article up, full opinion, that the Leafs are going to have the best power play in the East this year, which will be out tomorrow. And today, if you're listening on Amherst Island Radio, it's out right now. Go click it, www.insidetherink.com. Then you go to the NHL, then the Eastern Conference, then the Atlantic, then Toronto. I know it's tough, but that's how you get there. Find that article. Or you can go to our Split the Defense pages. We'll have that posted tomorrow as soon as it comes up. We're on Twitter as STDP Hockey. We are on Facebook as Split the Defense. We are on Instagram as Split the Defense as well. But I don't know if I'll be posting anything text there because that's not how that one works. Anyways, you'll be able to find it on our socials tomorrow, somewhere in there. Point being is I made all this stuff up. I went this whole thing about 10 days ago, and then I put it off. And I was like, life. And I thing came up, and I had to, I built a shed on the weekend, like a whole shed just out of scratch. Not out of scratch. I had to go buy all this material and whatever, but I built it. Put up a shed, a little lean-to, so we could park the lawnmower in there. Life got to me, right? I got 2 kids, school's back, and whatever have you. So I didn't write this article. So I went to go and fill in the blanks, and I realized that everything I wrote was total BS, and there's no statistic to prove that anything that I've just said. So that was tough. So I put that off for a couple more days, and it's like been eating away at me. Like, when you have like this itching feeling like you have something to do? And like, but like I almost felt like I was SOL. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to continue living my life and put it off and procrastinate. And we'll figure out what to do. And finally last night, you helped me. You asked me the question. I brought it up and you asked me a question about it. And I just spewed out an answer. I was like, that's what I'm going to put in the article tomorrow. So that's what I did. I wrote it today, dropped it. It'll be out for tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll have that. Instagram, we'll put it in our stories. We'll have a link in our stories on Instagram.
Absolutely.
There it is.
But yeah, gotta love that when you go and you make something up and you're like, I'm sure I'm right. Like, I know I'm right. At least power play is going to be the best because John Klingberg's power play stats are mediocre. Tyler Bertuzzi's power play stats are going to be through the, first tile of the floor maybe. But like...
yeah, that's tough, eh?
It's like, but they're going to be good. It's not what they have
just
done. It's what they can do. Believe me. Trust me. I'm telling the truth.
Well, that's from a Leafs expert right here.
It's not what they have done. Max Domi, like he was born to be a Leaf. You got to read the article.
That's right. Okay.
Got to read the article. All that good stuff's in there. Why? And you know what? This one may not be fully stats-based, but it's totally from the heart. And everything I say isn't wrong. Because it's all subjective.
Yeah.
I never put any stats in there. I never said it's going to. I said it can, and they're set
this
to
is
be.
What could
they
happen.
Should be.
Yes.
And it looks like they have the chance to be.
Yeah. And that's good, analytical writing, saying, here's what could happen. If you're saying here's what's going to happen, you're basically telling people you're a fortune teller and you have the ability to read the future, which you do not. So it's good. I'm glad you took that angle. That sounds good.
Yeah,
I
pretend buddy. I pretend like I know what I'm talking about and try and use stats to back me up all the time. Like, I'm right here. Look at all this. And you know why? Because look at the stats. They're right. Numbers don't lie. Men lie. Women lie. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, people lie. Numbers won't lie to you.
Yeah.
And it's true. That's why we love stats here on Split the Defense. We're all about the stats.
Until they
We love
prove
that.
you wrong. And then we hate stats. And those are for nerds.
Yeah,
Stats
it
are
just
for
depends where
nerds.
you're looking at it from.
You need
Yeah.
boots on the ground.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, no, I think I think both our teams are set for good things this year. Like we said, maybe some disappointments, maybe some surprises, good or bad, but we will have to see. That's what it always comes down to. We love to talk about the future, but we got to wait and see.
Well, that's why they play the games, right?
That's right. We love it.
I'm telling you. So, one thing I meant to mention too today, we can't forget our neighbors next door. It was 22 years ago today.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
On the day of
September
recording,
11th,
yeah.
2001.
That's right.
Yeah, the day of recording. That tragedy happened in New York.
Yeah, 22 years ago.
We will not forget that. That is tough.
No.
Tough for our neighbors. I remember being a young kid, like very young in public school, and it was the whole thing all through the school, all the teachers and everything. Like, I swear to God.
Definitely. We got pulled in from recess. I was in grade 6, would have been
So did
11
I.
years old, and they pulled us in from recess and wheeled in a big, CRT television that you used to watch back in the day, wheeled it in on the thing and made us watch it, basically, which I didn't really know what I was looking at back then, but obviously it sticks with you and you learn about it. And yeah, it was very much a tragedy. You could tell right away, like our teacher, you could see him breaking down. He had tears in his eyes. You knew it was a big thing, but hard to grasp at that age, but still, yeah, tragedy.
Tragedy. Well, with that sad note, unfortunately, we will be back on Thursday.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we
That
will be
one,
back
we will
at
be live.
We will be
Just
live,
live and
just
uncut.
live. 9:00. We will be back on Twitch and YouTube. And if you want to roll the music,
Yeah. Let's get on out of here.
let's get the heck out of here. All right, we love you, everybody. We're on Amherst Island Radio 101.3, CJAI and CJAI.CA this wonderful Tuesday. We look forward to seeing you all on Thursday on YouTube. Right back here next Tuesday. Take care.
See you later.